Anyways, any Jew. Be careful there. The West Indies under 19, they're currently participating in the under 19 World Cup in South Africa. So we're going to talk about that as well. Their performance against the hosts, South Africa. But lots and lots to talk about. There's football going on. FIFA announced their players and teams and coach of the year. So we'll talk about that as well. Let's see, what the thoughts are.
Was it last week you cussed out FIFA?
No.
You were cussing them out. Right. You were just talking the truth about them.
I wasn't cussing out. Last week I was talking about JFF though, but there's no JFF speaking this week. Okay. So if you're joining the show to listen to, I'm not talking about them this week. Right. We'll take that up. We'll take that up on that Saturday. But KG, I must say, because I can do whatever I want in my own show.
All right, head cook and bottle washer.
Right. So I must say that I really, really appreciate you. These Saturdays that we would have had interaction. So this would have been since the end of September till now.
That was when Daniel left?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
So it's been it's a good while now, and but we talk other than that. But I must say, you've owned your craft in this arena. It's always exciting. If you guys know, KG's always say, Kathya is just always so excited.
Yeah, she's bubbly.
Full of excitement.
She's bubbly.
Full of excitement.
So she's Kathya the excited one. Or the bubbly one. Hey, Kathya the bubbly one.
We're gonna say. But I just want to say that I'm gonna miss you because I can come in here on a Saturday before my show going on and pushing you out of the chair, stretching you over you so that I can sit down for the show.
It's fine. It was always fine.
But when the show starts, but KG, I'm really gonna miss you so much, and I just want to say all the best to your future endeavors that you're gonna this new journey that you're going into. All the best and God's blessing, and remember us, the small people.
That's the small people. All right, thank you so much, Kathya. I appreciate it. I mean, I think when I first saw you on one of Daniel's show when he was here, one of his interviews, I never. To be honest, it's not that I don't know that females know a lot about sports, but I think Daniel knew more female that knew about sports than male because he has such a good amount of females who know about sports, and you were one of them on the show at the time. And then, boom, I see I love one, and I'm like, what is happening here? And then after that, I saw you when he was out for a while. You came in and you did sports talk, and I'm like, interesting. And now you are actually the host of Sports Talk. Yeah. And you're doing extremely well.
Thank you so much.
I mean, you know what you're talking about more than me because half of what you talk about, I really know about. But I pick up things here and there so that I can converse with you sometimes. Like the whole West Indies thing that you'll talk about later on, because I was watching the last part of that match and stuff. But I mean, congratulations on moving to this part, and you're doing like OBs and all them things. And, you're spreading your wings, like what always says across the ocean, right?
Yeah, I'm just picking up the craft.
You're doing well, and I think that love is in good hands, because hey, we will. You know what? Yeah. So. Right. Big up yourself and enjoy a show. I'm going to have some food.
I know you're gonna have as usual, but we'll talk after.
Yeah, we definitely
when we're transitioning. So if you want to hear me, it's gonna happen at
12 Thank you, Kathya.
All right, crazy. Right. So, so much. Wonderful things happening. And. Right, and we're gonna just talk about sports. This is a time for it. So if you want to participate in the show, you can send me a WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. You can also send me a message on our Facebook or YouTube page. So that's Love 101 FM Jamaica. It's we're live there, so you can see what's going on. So, as usual, at the beginning of the show, we'll go into our sports highlights, but we'll do this until 2 o'clock. So let's hit those sports highlights. All right, so we start locally in our sports highlights, where we are going to talk about the Jamaica Premier League and what's happening. Of course, most of the matches for last week, they were postponed due to what was supposed to, or the elections of the JFF that was supposed to take place on Sunday, but that didn't happen. So, going to get the matches on again. So, but there were some matches that actually took place. So let's get to those. On Monday, Malans United, they beat Veer 2-0 on Monday as well. Arnett Gardens played Dumby Holding. They beat Dumby Holding 1-0. And of course, later down in the week, we had Montego Bay United. They played Limehall Academy. They beat them 3-0. Portmore and Mount Pleasant, they played 2-1 all draw. Humble Lion, they beat Treasure Beach 1-0. And also on Wednesday, Tivoli Gardens, they beat Waterhouse 1-0. And Cavalier beat 9-man Harborview 1-0. And then we look ahead to the matches that will take place tomorrow and Monday in the Jamaica Premier League. So Limehall will play Portmore United. Mount Pleasant will play Treasure Beach. Harborview, they'll play Veer. Humble Lion, they'll play Dumby Holding. Tivoli Gardens, they'll play Cavalier. And those matches will kick off at 1:30 and 3 p.m. respectively. And then, of course, Monday Night Football returns with Arnett Gardens playing Malans United and Montego Bay playing Waterhouse. So that's what's coming up in the Jamaica Premier League. And of course, we'll keep you up to date as to the point standing, where we'll have more matches in this coming week. And so we'll keep you up to date to the point standings then. In what I would call, in the English Premier League this morning, Arsenal thrashed Crystal Palace 5-0. I know Daniel wants to hear that Arsenal is doing well. Right, so Arsenal thrashed Crystal Palace 5-0 in the early morning game this morning in the English Premier League. And it's currently 1-1 between Brentford and Nottingham Forest. Right, and so I just want to go to something very quickly. FIFA, they would have gone ahead and announced their what do I call this? Players, teams, coaches of the year. That would have been 2023, and so no surprises. Lionel Messi, he was crowned the best FIFA men's player, and Marta, she's from Brazil. She was named she got a special award from FIFA. And then there were other awards given. The FIFA Fair Play Award that went to Brazil. The best men's FIFA goalkeeper that went to Edison, and Edison plays for Brazil. As well, the best female goalkeeper that went to Mary Earps, and she is from England. And then they also named the World 11 FIFA squad for both men and women. And then the female coach of the year was Serena Wigman, and she is the coach of the England female football team who won the World Cup last year in Australia and New Zealand. And the best men's coach for FIFA was named Pep Guardiola, and that is Manchester City's coach. So lots and lots going on for FIFA. It's good to see that FIFA would have recognized these players over the time, or over the achievements they would have had over the year. So it's good and all to see that happening. Of course, in terms of our schoolboy football. So yes, schoolboy football season has ended. However, what we call the all-star team of schoolboy football, they are currently in Florida. They would have played their so they would have played 2 matches so far, and this all-star team is made up of stars right across both Manning and the Costa Cup. So they would have lost their first match and they would have won their second match. So they have another match later today. So we just want to wish them all the best. This is the chance that they get to, especially the boys who will be transitioning out of school this year. They get a chance for US scouts to see them and just, for them to expose their talents. There were some visa issues as it relates to some of the boys, and that is always a concern that when it gets on to this time of the year and the boys need to travel, that the visas are not necessarily, I wouldn't say available, but it's just that they always run into visa problems. But we're hoping that as the years go on, or as it go on, that we will be able to fix this issue, probably, get it sorted early and not wait until the last minute. I believe, especially there were 2 Mona players, I believe, had to join the squad late this week. So probably between Thursday and Friday. So hopefully they'll be able to get a feature in today's game. Right. So, so we want to wish them all the best. As I said, they have another match coming up later today. Right. Also happening is the African Cup of Nations that's going on, and it's been very interesting. I was able to catch a match this morning, Algeria versus Burkina Faso. That was very, very interesting. Played to a 2-2 draw, and then Mauritania and Angola. Currently, that match is going on. 54 minutes gone in that match. Angola is leading 3-1. Also happening is the NBA. Got to talk about the NBA. So the Hornets, they beat the Spurs 124, and these matches were from last night. So last night, the Hornets, they beat the Spurs 124-120. The 76ers, they beat the Magic 124-109. The Nuggets, they beat Celtics 102-100. Hawks, they beat Heat 109-108. The Suns, they beat the Pelicans 123-109. The Trailblazers, they beat the Pacers 118-115. The Nets, they beat the Lakers 130-112. And then the matches coming up later today. The Hornets will play the 76ers. Wizards will play the Spurs. Hawks will play the Cavaliers. Knicks will play Raptors. Bulls play Grizzlies. Rockets play Jazz. And the Timberwolves will play Thunder. Right. So, the NBA season is heating up. It's getting to that point where, things are getting pretty interesting. So we're keeping track of what's going on. So we're going to go for a break right here on Sports Talk. We're going to come back. We're going to finish our sports highlights, and then we're going to talk about, of course, the awards that took place last night at the Pegasus, the Sportsman and Woman of the Year Awards, as well as the Under-19 performance and the West Indies senior team performance down under. We'll be right back here on Sports Talk.
Music from the years of love. We're celebrating 30 years of love. We're celebrating 30 years of love. 30 years of love.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the Family Station, Love 101. For those who are tuned in to love101.org, welcome. And of course, if you'd like to participate in the conversation, you can send me a WhatsApp at 997-3125. You can also send me a message on our Facebook and our YouTube page, and that's going to be Love 101 FM Jamaica. Great. So, as we were saying before the break, lots and lots of sports happening today. Actually, I know of two of the major track meets or development track meets happening. So today you have at Calabar, they're having the McKinley Wint Classics. Well, that track meet is going on right there on Meadows Road. And there is also the, I'm going to call it Sprint Hurdles Fest, but I'll get the correct name. That's happening at the GC Foster College. So I was taking in some of the races before I came on air. Interesting to see so many of our young athletes participating as they lead up to, of course, championship, and just to see how some of them have kept, I mean, they would have had a downtime, restarted training in the summer, but they've now, or will be now, moving on to defend their champs titles. So that will be Kingston College and Hydel. Looking forward to see what those teams will bring this year. But there'll be some surprises. Like I realized this morning that Abigail Wolf is now at Women's Girls School. Abigail, she would have won the girls class 3 100-meter last year at Champs. She was at Holy Childhood. I now see her at Wilma's. Well, I saw her representing Wilma's this morning, so that was quite interesting. So as we get the news, we will bring it to you right here on the Family Station during Sports Talk every Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. Right, let's get on to what happened last night at the Pegasus. So we'll just get right into that. Now, last night at the Pegasus, we had the National Men's and Women's Sportsman, Sportswoman of the Year Awards, and that is sporting across all disciplines. So it was not just only track and field, even though you could say that track and field dominated the happenings last night. For the Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year, the runner-up for the Sportsman of the Year was Hansa Parchment. Hansa Parchment would have been the World Championship 110-meter silver medalist and also the Diamond League winner in the 110-meter hurdles. So he would have walked away with the runner-up spot, and runner-up for the female Sportswoman of the Year went to Danielle Williams, and Danielle would have pulled off a surprise victory in the 100-meter hurdles last year in Budapest, Hungary, at the World Championships, and she would have gone on to win races subsequent to the championship, and so she was named the runner-up. The winner for the men's section, so the Sportsman of the Year for 2023, Antonio Watson, the 400-meter gold medalist last year at the World Championship in Budapest, Hungary. I think persons were surprised, not me, because, and I'll tell you why persons are surprised. We'll go into that a little bit. Right, shortly. So yes, Anthony Watson, he won the Sportsman of the Year award Very humble young man. I mean, I was I was a bit taken aback, honestly, when I didn't see him like prepare a speech or anything. But he did really well on his speech, even without like having a pen to paper. But he did really well with his speech. He thanked his coaches, and he was saying, he didn't expect 2023 to be that year for him where he would become a world champion. So he was very excited, and he was in a very, I would say, outstanding suit. I mean, it was a really nice suit. It was really nice. And he had on some shades and things. So, looked really nice, really good for the occasion. And then the Sportswoman of the Year, Sharika Jackson, no surprise there. She would have been the silver medalist in the 100 meters at the World Championships. She would have been the gold medalist in the 200 meters, lowering the national record in the 200 meters, and would have been the silver medalist in the 4x1 women's relay at the World Championship. She would have also won double diamond league in the 100 and 200 meters. So again, no surprise that Sharika won that award. So happy for her. You could see, she was taking it all in, and she was sharing, in terms of having gone through a rough 2019, and then the COVID came, and it was great for her because it allowed her to look to doing the shorter sprints, because if you knew Sharika Jackson before, she used to specialize in the 400 meters. So the Olympics being in 2021 really gave her an opportunity to look at the shorter events and excel in those. So honorable mentions, I'd say, would go to like Blake, the goalkeeper, or national goalkeeper, Andre Blake, who would have won the football award, so the sportsman of the year in terms of the category of football. He would have won it for the 6th time, so that was outstanding. And of course, Fraser McConnell, he would have won for race car. Some people debating, it's a non-Olympic year, but a track athlete still won the sportsman of the year award. I gather it was close, but when it is that you get a gold medal at a world championship, it is very hard, very, very hard to beat that in terms of in a sport of an individual sport. So other honorable mentions also went to the Sunshine Girls, who would have won the bronze medal in the Netball World Cup in South Africa last year. Also, honorable mention to the Reggae Girls, the World Cup squad, who would have reached the round of 16 last year in the World Cup that took place in Australia and New Zealand. Now, another mention or another highlight for me last night was the Youth Award, which went to, I'm going to say his name is Jordan Johnson. He's currently representing the Jamaica, well, not representing Jamaica, but the West Indies at the Under-19 World Cup tournament in South Africa. Right. So he would have won what they would call the Youth upcoming award. I believe he attends Wilmers High School. Right. So yes, Jordan Johnson, that's his name. He would have walked away with the Youth Award. Now, the Youth Award recognizes I believe it's an under 20 or somebody who's under 20 who would have excelled in their sport for the past year. Now, the previous year, Jadon Hibbert would have won that award, and we would have seen what Jadon Hibbert would have gone on to do in 2023. And so, of course, we're looking for great things from Jordan Johnson, and of course representing the West Indies now in South Africa at the Under-19 World Cup. So looking forward to what he will bring or what he would showcase. Right. So that's what was happening last night. And of course, the iconic award. No, let me go. Chairman's Award. Well, there was one iconic and there was one chairman. So the chairman's award that went to, I believe, the just former coach of the Sunshine Girls, Connie Francis. She was recognized, and of course, 27 years in one sport as player and as coach is something magnificent. So, she was recognized, and of course, the iconic award went to Dion Hemmings McCarthy. Fantastic work Dion has done in terms of her achievements when she was an athlete, and of course she has continued to serve the J3s and the IOC, and would have represented us on different international bodies in terms of athletics. So was happy to see that they were recognized. Also recognized our Paralympians. They were recognized as well. And it's so good to see, as in this is one of the award show where I think I appreciate most in terms of recognition as sports, as you get to see all the sporting areas being highlighted. So hockey and badminton and table tennis and taekwondo and chess, and all these boxing, bodybuilding, to see all those areas get recognition, or somebody, so it would have been one person or male or female from each of these categories getting recognized, shows that Jamaica is not only a track and field country, but we also can excel in other areas. So it was good to see, all of these persons getting the awards. And I mean, one of the things, I guess we don't talk about these things on or we don't really, go into that. But I think the athletes across the board, they looked really stunning last night. You see, they really went, I would say they went out hard with their outfits. You can see that effort was put into ensuring that they looked their best. So so it was an enjoyable experience, and it's just good to see, especially the athletes, celebrate each other. Also highlighted was the members of the athletics squad who would have represented us at the CSC games last year. So persons like Jahil Hyde would have gotten recognition. And of course, the netballers who would have won gold at the CSC games last year, they were also recognized. And so it was not just only world championship recognition, but right once you sort of, represented the country at the highest level, that was recognized. And it was just good to see. It was just good to see the camaraderie that happened between the athletes. And it's just it's really just a wonderful feeling when they can come together like this, let down their hairs, and they're still the star of the show, but just in a different way. So yeah, so that was it. So again, the National Sportswoman of the Year, Sharika Jackson, and Sportsman of the Year is Antonio Watson. So we say congratulations to Sharika and Antonio, and to the runners-up Daniel Williams and Hansa Parchment. We are looking forward to excellent things, people. This is an Olympic year, and so yes, looking forward. We're looking forward to the great things that will happen. We'll be right back after this break, right here on Sports Talk.
Get ready for another inspiring time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer, this Monday, January 22. Listen throughout the show for tips on how to become the best version of who you are in the future, becoming you. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with the Morning Coffee Pick Me Up devotional at 6 a.m. Cruise with Love on Your Radio at 7 a.m. inside Drive Time Jammings with great music to lift your day. This week inside Being Jamaican, we talked to gospel recording artist Rhoda Isabella. 8:30 a.m. inside The Healthy Way, we discuss psoriasis. 9:30 a.m. is Something More, brought to you by the Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. So stick and stay with us. This Pick Me Up Monday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station, Love 101.
It's another time to move inside alive. 1 to 5. That's Make Me Move Monday, January 22. Get ready for the brain testing exercise at 1:45. Then at 2 o'clock, we ring in the prayer bells of heaven with our prayer blast feature. 2:15 inside Body Talk. January is Mental Awareness Month, and we will be looking at signs of mental illness. Then at 3:15 inside What Does the Bible Say? Join us as we look at holiness. Is it still keeping? Let's hear what the Bible has to say. All the time will come your way this Make Me Move Monday. It's alive, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. January 22 on the family station, Love 101.
The Kingston Keswick Convention 2024 commences on Sunday, January 21 and runs through Sunday, January 28 at the Boulevard Baptist Church, Washington Boulevard.
Engaging the community through effective ministry.
Each evening at 7 p.m. with dynamic speaker Dr. John Neufeld, National Bible Teacher at Back to the Bible Jamaica and Canada. The program will also be aired on Love FM, MTM TV, and Kingston Keswick YouTube channel. Lunch hour sessions are on each day at 12:15 p.m. to 1 p.m. Monday, January 22 to Friday, January 26 at Jamaica Theological Seminary, Webster Memorial, Mona Baptist, Waltham Park New Testament Church of God, Bethel Baptist, and East Queen Street Baptist. You won't want to miss the Youth Explosion on Friday, January 26 at 7 p.m. On Saturday, January 27, 2024. Men's meeting at Guardian Group Seminar Room, Women's Gathering and Health Fair at the Boulevard Baptist, and Children's Program, Boulevard Baptist. Join us in person or online for Keswick 2024.
The Kingston Keswick Convention, live at 7:15 each evening, right here on the family station, Love 101.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM, and we go right into this is the final half of the show, right? So we're going to talk about the West Indies under 19. So currently they're participating at the World Under 19 World Cup in South Africa, and they would have played South Africa earlier this week in the opening match of the tournament. Unfortunately, the young lads, they would have lost to South Africa by 31 runs. However, there are still outstanding performances, and I'd like to highlight those. So South Africa, they would have made 285 for 9, and that's after 50 overs, and the West Indies squad, and this is under 19, of course, they were bowled out at 40.1 over for 254. In terms of performance, that stood out to me for batsmen. So we'll go to that first. Joel Andrew, he made 130 from 96 balls, and of course, it's good to see at this age that they have developed, or they're developing to bat for long periods. So that was very good by Joel Andrew. And Nathan Seeley, he would have made 33 from 55 balls. And so the young lads, that's what I call them, or maybe I need to stop calling that. But yes, so they're gonna be playing. So in terms of the group that they're in, so they're in the group with South Africa, of course, and I'm gonna tell you shortly who else is in that group. Right. So they will have that a few more matches to go. So this won't be definitely not their final match for the tournament. Definitely not, as it was just only their first match. Right. So they're going to be playing Scotland as well, and that match will come up on Tuesday, right? Wednesday, my bad, can't get the days right. Right, that match will come up on Wednesday, and so by next week we'll be talking about them again. But we just want to say all the best to the squad. The West Indies under 19. So this is where all the other big West Indies players, some of them know down under. And just in case you don't know, we're referring to, or where I refer to as down under, where is referred to as down under, that's in Australia. So the senior West Indies squad, they are currently in Australia, playing test series, a series of games, but they would have played the first test earlier this week. So we're gonna, you know what? Let me jump right into that, because these matches, right? So when the games are played in Australia, it's very interesting because the games start when I just come from work. So the matches, the day starts, because Australia, I believe, they are 16 hours ahead of us or thereabouts. So a lot of hours, right? Almost a day ahead of us. So when it's 6:45 in Jamaica, it's the next day for them. So, the day for us would be 8 hours, so 6 hours from it. So, leading up to that time. So, late nights watching the West Indies squad. And of course, there's always the talks of one part of the team not performing over one part of the team. And of course, we had this issue again in this test match because the bowler showed up to the match, but the batsmen, they just didn't show up for this first test. They left their batting skills in the West Indies, because I mean that's like the best I can do without like beating them up too much, because I did say I'm not gonna beat them up too much. But I think we have to, for the squads, find a good balance between getting the proper batsmen and bowlers, because when it is that your bowlers can round out an Australian side for 283 runs, but then the batsman only can make 188 and 120. I mean, this is T20, this is test, not T20. Like, come on, where are these scores going? So, in the match, the score is Australia 283 all out and 26 not out, and then West Indies was 188 all out and 120 not out, which means that Australia would have won the match by all of 10 wickets. Yeah. Like, it wasn't a good, I mean, I enjoyed the match when we were bowling, not when we were batting. Trust me. Every time I was like, jeez, not that shot, not that play, and Australia is like in the top 3 test nations in the world. And of course, like everything in this part of the world in terms of West Indies, and them saying they're gonna carry a younger squad for them to get experience. So like Darren Bravo, and I would have spoken about this probably when the test squad was released some weeks ago, that Darren Bravo was left out of the squad, even though in our own regional tournament he was the leading runs scorer. And it's when we get results like this, when I question why we would have made decisions like leaving Darren Bravo out of the squad, because at least I know he would have probably scored some runs. But You carry this young team, and nothing is wrong with building young team, but you don't carry the young team for them to be massacred by Australia. I mean, bringing back 10 wickets in a test match, that's just crazy. And it's not like we didn't bowl well, because we were able to bowl out Australia in their first innings for 283 runs. And that's one of the things I want to highlight, I want to talk about, because there is a Jamaican on the squad, Mr. Kurt McKenzie, that I want to highlight. I want to highlight Kirk, because he is one of the team members who showed some resistance to the Aussies. And I will get to his score shortly. But Kurt McKenzie, he's a young lad coming up in the West Indies squad, and he would have put on a very, 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 very good performance. Something that needs to be highlighted, something that needs to be talked about, because it was that good. It was that good. So we're not talking about that. But back to my issue. Because I'm gonna end with Kirk, so that I don't end on a bad note. Okay, promise that I will end with the good note. Right. So I just couldn't understand that, as I said, we went with a young squad, and we would have left out Darren Bava. That name, I mean, Darren's name stand out to me right now, but I'm sure there would have been others that we would have left out. But still, it's like, I'm like, why would we do this? Like, and then I understand, as I said, going back to the point, I understand the point of trying to build the cricket. That is okay, right? But at what detriment to like the current players? I mean, I just always feel like there's just something happening with the West Indies. There's always, people, there's politics in every sport, and it happens at every level. But we just don't like to see it when it is that they make decisions, and then we're like, oh well, we should have done this or should have done that, or the boys didn't perform up to standard because we were looking to do what exactly? Like, we were expecting to create a miracle. I'm not sure, you get what I'm saying? I get that they will need the experience, but I believe that the squads need to be better balanced for the young lads to get the experience, and for the experienced players to come and perform, because at the end of the day, we're not just playing frivolously like that. It is towards qualifying for, it's always qualifying. In cricket, it's always looking to qualify for something, whether it be Test Championship or T20 World Cup, or the regular one-day World Cup, which we didn't get to participate in last year, by the way, because we weren't ranked in the top 8, and then in the playoffs, we didn't do well in the playoffs until we weren't at the World Cup. So it is not just the players, they don't just go play for playing sake, or it's not just I will boss somebody or give somebody, they need the experience. Yes, include them in the squad, maybe as reserves, bring them so they know what or to get the experience, but not to the detriment of the wider squad or standings in terms of the team. But we're going to talk about what I would say my highlight is in the last quarter of the show. I'm going to be talking about Shamar Joseph and also Mr. McKenzie. So stick and stay with us on Sports. We're going to go for a quick break, but we will be right back.
Arise, mighty warrior,
The Kingston Keswick Convention 2024 commences on Sunday, January 21 and runs through Sunday, January 28 at the Boulevard Baptist Church, Washington Boulevard.
Engaging the community through effective ministry.
Each evening at 7 p.m. with dynamic speaker Dr. John Neufeld, National Bible Teacher at Back to the Bible Jamaica and Canada. The program will also be aired on Love FM, MTM TV, and Kingston Keswick YouTube channel. Lunch hour sessions are on each day at 12:15 p.m. to 1 p.m. Monday, January 22 to Friday, January 26 at Jamaica Theological Seminary, Webster Memorial, Mona Baptist, Waltham Park New Testament Church of God, Bethel Baptist, and East Queen Street Baptist. You won't want to miss the Youth Explosion on Friday, January 26 at 7 p.m. On Saturday, January 27, 2024. Men's meeting at Guardian Group Seminar Room, Women's Gathering and Health Fair at the Boulevard Baptist, and Children's Program, Boulevard Baptist. Join us in person or online for Keswick 2024.
The Kingston Keswick Convention, live at 7:15 each evening, right here on the family station, Love 101.
Arise, mighty warriors, no strength like.
Get ready for another inspiring time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer, this Monday, January 22. Listen throughout the show for tips on how to become the best version of who you are in the future Becoming You. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with the Morning Coffee Pick-Me-Up devotional at 6 a.m. Cruise with Love on your radio at 7 a.m. inside Drive Time Jammings with great music to lift your day. This week inside Being Jamaican, we talked to gospel recording artist Rhoda Isabella. 8:30 a.m. inside The Healthy Way, we discuss psoriasis. 9:30 a.m. is Something More, brought to you by the Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. So stick and stay with us. This Pick Me Up Monday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101. It's still Kathya. It's tempting not to say my name when I do that because it just rolls. Right. So we were talking about the West Indies performance against Australia in their first test. Right. I don't like silence. Right. So I was talking about the two highlights for me, or the two persons who would have stood out or had outstanding performance in the match, and they would have been Kirk Mackenzie, and Kirk is from Jamaica, and Guyanese Shamar Joseph. Kirk would have made a half century, and to just say before I go into what their stats was, Kirk and Shamar were test debutants. Kirk is 23 and Shamar is 24. Right, so young lads making their first test debut for the West Indies. Kirk would have made a half century, but Shamar would have picked up a 5-wicket haul. And so that he would have picked up a 5-wicket haul in the first inning. So when we bowled at Australia for 283, yeah man, Shamar, he picked up 5 for 94, which is just an outstanding statistic. This young man who in his first test match against Australia was able to pick up 5 wickets. Listen, that's just wonderful, great. And you know, he also said, well, I'm gonna go to his story because it was so interesting. He says, it's not that easy. I worked hard to get here, so I think that I deserve the chance to be in test cricket. He says, it's amazing to me to go out there and get wickets and runs on my debut. I'm looking forward to continue in this test series and moving forward. So Shamar did not only contribute 5 for 94, but he also contributed runs. Yes, he was making runs as well. So that and that to me showed that he is a good addition to the squad, he would have made in the first innings, he would have made 36. So in the first innings, he would have bagged 5 for 94 and made 36. And that's good because he's a number 11 batsman. And for your number 11 batsman to be contributing 36 runs against the mighty Australia, that's something to highlight. And of course, Kirk would have also contributed to contributed in terms of ensuring. I think Shamar in his second innings he ensured that Australia bat against, so that West Indies did not. Right, so he made 15, which is not, when you look at it, 15 is not a big score, but that 15 ensured that Australia bat again. So that means we weren't defeated by an innings and runs, right? Because they would have made 283 and we would have been out first, right? But point is, those 15 runs mattered because they ensured that Australia had to bat again. And that is important in a test match because you don't want to have, even though we lost by 10 wickets, which is a big loss. Honestly, it is a big loss. It is still 90 Australia, but it is a big loss. Allowing the next team to bat again is just good in test cricket because that at least, I mean, even if it was just, which it was 20 odd runs that 26 runs, I mean, at least they had something to come and bat for. Too bad for again, and the Australian crowd was very welcoming to Shamar. They were playing in Adelaide, so the crowd was very welcoming to him. Trust me, they and that's what I love about when we go to these countries that, you know, cricket is their sport. So even though you will be like beating up on their own team, they are still excited because they are excited about cricket. And I love to see games in like Australia or when, you know, we go to England to play, because these, and South Africa as well, and of course the Asian Pakistan and in India and Bangladesh, where cricket is like, yeah man, like, you know how in Jamaica we walk around and we play football, or you see the children racing on the road. In these countries, you see children playing cricket. Like, that's what they do from a tender age. So when it is that you are able to, as a young West Indian, go to these countries, especially a country like Australia, who's very dominant in world cricket, and perform like this, and it makes you very marketable as a young cricketer. And of course, it's happening on your debut performance. It's even better because a lot of players, they have to play series of matches. You know, they usually, you know, get stage fright. Some of them might get stage fright. They don't do good performances and they have to like play 6, 7, 8 matches before you see like the star quality coming up. But to see these two young lads from their first test match, scoring a half century and picking up a 5-wicket haul, that's just good to see. And I'm looking forward to what both Kurt McKenzie and Shamar Joseph will bring for the rest of the series. They're in Australia for a little while in terms of test series, and I think we'll play some ODIs and some T20s as well. So looking forward to the rest of the series down under. It is now summer, to see how far the people are ahead of us in terms of day. They're currently experiencing summer. I mean, I think we really only have one season in Jamaica, because, you know, we only experience winter. I mean, summer. We only experience summer in Jamaica. We get a little cool here and there, but we really only experience summer in Jamaica. But to see them, you know, all the way on the other side of the world performing, it's very good. So as I said, I'm looking forward to the performances that will come, and just looking forward to the development of cricket, because we need younger players to be performing at the highest level, so they can become marketable, not just when they're playing for West Indies, so that they're also able to go and play like county cricket in England, and also be able to in the T20 play. I mean, there's so many T20 leagues, Pakistan and India and Australia in the Big Bash, and the West Indies with CPL. There's so many opportunities for them to go and not just, yes, be able to play cricket, but also to make a living for their family, because this is their career. You and I, we come to work, that's their work. That's how they provide for their families. So it's good to see. So we want to say, I was gonna say, my sleep. It wasn't really sleepless nights, but I did stay up late to watch them. I didn't really have sleepless nights because the days weren't that long. The days weren't that long because West Indies, they didn't really put up a fight. So we had 3 out of 5 days? Yeah, I think it was 3 days. Only 3 days worth of cricket that was supposed to be 5 days. So, and of course, backtracking a little to our under 19 squad who are currently in South Africa. Just want to send some encouragement to them as well. Most of, if not all of our West Indies players, the superstars, they would have started being dominant or dominating at the under 19 level, and so we will see. I'm sure Shamar and Kirk came through our under 19 program, and so we'd see, hopefully in the near future, persons like Jordan Johnson making his transition from under 19 to the senior squad. So lots and lots to look forward to. I mean, we do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. And, send us a WhatsApp. Even if it's in the week, the message will get to me if there's a particular sport that you want me to talk about. I think I cover most sports, but if there's another that I'm missing and you want me to talk about, willing and able to talk about it, I'm sure. Just that I don't. It's not enough time for me to talk about all the sports. I just have to take out the major highlights. But if there's one that you want me to highlight, be sure to send a WhatsApp to 876-997-3125. And of course, you can join the live every Saturday as well. We're on Facebook and YouTube, so you can join us there just to talk about sports. And if you don't know about sports, you still can listen. You still can listen so that you can learn a little bit. And of course, as we have our different guests and the different athletes that will come throughout the time, we'll hear from their perspectives how their life is as athletes and the different sporting arenas that they take part in. It was a wonderful show and just a fantastic time. So until next week, same time, same place, right here on the family station, Love 101. Thank you so much for listening to Sports Talk. The name is Kathya. I'll catch you next week.